Here I am, a 31-year-old starting 5 YouTube channels. You might say to yourself, why 5 YouTube channels? And I think that whenever you want to achieve something or whenever you want to build a skill, you should do extreme things in order to attain those skills and attain those things that we call success faster, because extreme results require extreme actions. Is it a requirement, the success? The success is not really the goal here. I measure my success by being every day doing exactly what I wanted to do that day, and even more if I can. So that's the purpose here. The purpose is to build the skill, the 21st century skills that are really great for success. Instead of being bogged down by the fact that I don't get any views, the purpose of this channel is to actually build the skills, to build momentum and to become better. Because once you become better, everything becomes easier. It's the same with painting, it's the same with video editing, it's the same with any kind of skill. You need to build momentum in order to really become so good. I know it's not that great now, but the advice still applies. So you become so good at this thing that it's easier to just achieve what you wanted, what you set out to achieve. It's very difficult to start something from scratch without the skills, without the need. You're thinking of failure. You're thinking of what if I don't have what it takes? You're thinking of why am I doing this if no one is watching? Why do I keep on expanding so much effort, so much energy? But that's the key here. The more energy you expand, the more you get back. The more easy it gets to expand as much energy that you don't feel like you are putting in an effort. You are not really thinking about how it looks. You're not judging yourself. And that's the key here. Well, I'm repeating myself with the key. I like keys. So you're not really getting what you want, but you're getting something else. And you should be looking at those additional things. You should be looking at those byproducts that you get out of this channel, out of this creation. And what are you getting good at? I'm getting good at video editing, talking in front of the camera without a script, getting a bit more present, and of course, talking about emotions. Even though the prospect of being successful is very enticing and you might want to do that, the fact is that if you always run for success, if you always run after it, if you always want this idea of getting things out of what you're doing, you're never ever going to do things for you. And I think the key here, why do I keep on saying this word? The secret here is to do stuff for yourself. Why wouldn't you start a channel just talking? Why wouldn't you want to do the videos that you want to do? Just because it takes time? Just because you don't have the camera? Just because you don't have the microphone? What if you had them? Because I was in the situation where I had 3 cameras, 1 microphone, whatever, all the gear I wanted. And what did I do for 6 months? Absolutely nothing. Why? I don't know. Just because you have the gear doesn't mean you're gonna start creating. People who really start, who are creative, do a lot of things with almost nothing. You can record on your phone, video, audio, and you can learn a lot from those limitations. You can learn that maybe outside is a better environment to film with a phone because you don't have a big light like this. Or recording audio inside, it's better for the video, for the phone footage. But you're thinking, but how am I going to be in 2 places at the same time? Well, you film yourself doing stuff outside and then you talk over it. You do a voiceover. So there are a lot of things that are very interesting here. Limitations are a very, very good thing for creativity. The more limited you are, well, not really, but at a certain point, those limitations are very good. And whenever you want to get better, it's always good to impose limitations. Even though you have like all of this gear and all of these possibilities, how do you reduce the things and limit those things in order to become better at creating? Creating in the confines of those limitations will make you a better filmmaker, a better creator, and you will learn. Once you have a better camera, a better microphone, you will learn what to do in case something happens to the audio, in case it's bad, or what happens to the video. And you get those skills for absolutely nothing. But we tend to do all of the things that are bad for us, like social media, like, I don't know, just doing stuff that it's not beneficial. We tend to do those things by saying to ourselves, nobody's watching. No one's going to watch. I'm just going to not expand the energy. I don't have the skills. I don't have the energy. I don't have the output to be able to talk on camera. I don't have the charisma. I don't have the personality. What am I going to talk about? And it's such a pity because we give that energy in other places and time doesn't go back. We don't get that time back that we spent like 5 hours on social media instead of maybe 1 hour and then 4 hours on social media. 1 hour creating, 5 hours, 4 hours just going on social media. So I've published about 120 videos in 40 days. I got about 5,000 views and about 200 watch hours. That's not a lot for 5 channels, but I got one of my videos to 2,000 views and it felt amazing. I was getting this hype. I was like, yes, this is the time to shine. This is where it all changes. And it didn't. So you get this self-development, you get this resilience to just come back to your intrinsic motivation and to come back with knowing that all of your videos are almost all the same, in the sense, not in a boring way. You get better and better. In order to be able to publish 5 videos or 4 videos every day, you are, and these are long form videos. Some of them have between 5 minutes and others have 40 minutes of talk. So to be able to publish so much content, you need to really structure your thinking, but that's the point. Is you might think that you're never going to have anything to talk about for 40 minutes, but once you do it every day, 4 times, 5 times a day, you're going to start to understand that this is easier than you think, and you're going to change your mind in a way to deliver information in a very coherent manner. You will start to find words, specific words that are very interesting, and they give this colorful feeling to the whole conversation and to the whole argument. It doesn't matter if you are not really able to be as charismatic as other people because you don't edit your videos that well, because so much of this whole YouTube and video making process is about editing. You are editing the bad parts, you are editing the takes that you are not proud of. But I would say it's a better way to learn this is to not edit as much, to leave on the bad parts, not only for yourself, but for other people who might want to get inspired by the fact that, oh, this guy seems normal. He doesn't speak with 500 words per second. I don't feel like he's speeding up the videos. So many YouTubers do that. They speed up the video by 10 to 15% in order to sound better, to become better, to cheat at talking in front of the camera. It's hard. It's very difficult to actually do a monologue in front of the camera for 3 to 5 minutes. But if I can do it, or if any other person can do it, you can do it as well. You might think that to publish 120 videos in 30 something days, 40 something days, it takes a lot of motivation and inspiration. But I will tell you that motivation and inspiration are cheap, they are bad, and they do not work, at least for me. What works is actually building momentum. You start by putting a timer for 1 minute and you start talking in front of the camera for 1 minute. If you cannot do 1 minute, do 30 seconds. Do not repeat your words. You always have to move on to the next sentence. And soon enough, after 1 or 2 weeks, you'll be able to speak in front of the camera for 5 minutes, 10 minutes without a script and still make sense. And whenever you do this, move the camera around. It takes 5 seconds to just move the camera or the phone around, and you'll get another angle. You'll learn about something. You will learn about composition. You will learn to think differently, to put the camera in places that you would never put them. You would never put it. Not in that space. I was joking, of course. And I've learned that talking in front of the camera is more about structuring your thinking. The more you know exactly what you want to say, but not in the script kind of way, but in the direction. You have a direction and you set out, I want to talk about this. You set it out and then you meander around it. You try to find the best road and say whatever you want, say whatever comes first to mind, and then you kind of judge it a bit and you ask yourself, why haven't I explained this what can I say better? I think if you go for a positive question, it's way better. It creates a bit more positivity and momentum. And you go like, okay, so what can I say to make this argument better? For instance, in this case, I instantly edited the idea of focusing on the problem by asking, what could I have done better? And asked for the speech, what would have made this better? It's a slight difference. I would have made versus would have made this video better. And one thing that you should keep in mind whenever creating these videos or whatever you want to do is, but it particularly applies to videos and audio, it's the fact that it will always feel like a performance. You might get a bit more comfortable with the performance, but it's something that you are not yet. Your personality, your way of being, you are not the kind of person who makes 5 videos a day. But you can be. You can wear this hat and say, I'm the kind of person who, I'm just using the hat as a metaphor. But you can perform it, and you might say, but that's not authentic. And I'd say, why? Why is it not why is it not authentic to try to be someone better? I think that's a very powerful question. Let's hear it again. Why is it not authentic and sincere to try to be someone better? To try to be someone who works for their success, for their plan, for their dream. Is that not authenticity? Even though I don't have the skills or I don't have the personality or the charisma or the presence on camera to be able to deliver information like a world-class speaker. So what? Why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I perform, pretend a bit that I am a better speaker than I am and put myself out there without judgment? Why not? You have all the reasons in the world to not do it. All the reasons. Nobody's going to watch. You're not going to have success. Your mind will tell you over and over and over and over again, you shouldn't do this. People are going to make fun of you. It's going to invent so many things because our mind optimizes for the least amount of effort. But the way we combat that is going back to momentum instead of motivation, inspiration, and feeling like if it's effortless, we go back to momentum. We slice the skill that we want into 30 seconds or 1 minute intervals. We put a timer, always respect the timer. Never go overboard. Even though it was the best take ever, stop at 1 minute, do it again in 1 more minute, or take a 30-second break and put a timer again. Do it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times a day, and you will build so much momentum. Then in 2 weeks, it will feel so much easier, and you might not even need the timer after 2 or 3 weeks. But, and there is a but, let's have some coffee. Whenever you lose the momentum, you lose the habit, or you take a break, life gets in the way, you have to do something, you have to go to work, you have to meet with friends, you got drunk last night, it doesn't matter. Instead of jumping in and being your standard has risen because that's normal, lower your standard once again. Do the same repetitions that you did in the beginning, 1 minute, and set that as the standard for success. If you keep on raising the bar, that's fine. You can raise the bar, but be happy that you did more than 1 minute. That's the key here. That's the standard. I did more than 1 minute. Not, oh, I did 5 minutes yesterday, so today, because I couldn't do 5 minutes, I'm a failure. No, you did 4 minutes today. That's 3 more minutes than the 1 minute you were beginning at. That's such a nice way to be happy with whatever happens. Everyone can talk in front of the camera for 1 minute. And everyone can talk for 20 times a day for 1 minute. And you can slice any skill, any habit, anything that you do, you can slice it up in 1 minute intervals and do it 20 times. That's what people don't really understand about building habits. It takes a long time. It takes 38 repetitions. But if you wait to do those repetitions for 38 days, that's not very fast. And you're not going to be very happy with the results because it will feel like it takes a long time. But if you are slicing it up into 1 or 2 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever you feel comfortable with, you'll have a habit in 5, 6, 7 days instead of 38 days. Not only that, but you practice something better, which is starting. You know that feeling when you know that if you were to start something, you would just lose yourself in doing that. I know everybody has this experience where if they just started that particular day working on the project, they would spend like 4 or 5 hours or 3 hours or 1 hour. It doesn't matter. But it's hard to start. It's hard to put yourself down to the desk and do it. And that's exactly what you do when you slice up into small increments to build momentum. You practice the starting. And if you have bonus tip right over here, if you have more skills that you are developing at the same time or in the same day, you're building momentum towards it, you will basically practice the starting part so many times that it will be easy to do even things that you don't have momentum for. Like, I don't know, doing chores, cleaning up, painting a wall, doing anything. It's going to feel easier because you've now practiced a meta skill, which is starting an activity, doing something. You will be in motion. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. I think there's the third law of thermodynamics. Look at me, fancy words that I don't know the meaning of. And by doing extreme stuff, by doing extreme amounts of work, let's say, by doing it 20 times a day for 2 minutes, that's 40 minutes. That's more than enough to get 2 videos, 3 videos out. And by doing that, you will find more ways to optimize the whole situation, the whole work process. You will find the bottlenecks. You will look at the fact that, oh, I'm spending so much time syncing the audio to the camera. Can I connect the microphone to the camera? Turns out I can. I just saved 20 minutes every day by just connecting the microphone to the camera. It wasn't obvious because the plug over here is for headphones, not for connecting it to the camera. But it turns out you can. Another thing is, why do I take like 40 minutes or an hour to transfer everything from the camera to the laptop? Can I edit off of the camera? Turns out I can, and it's exactly the same speed. It renders at exactly the same speed because the bottleneck is not the storage on the camera. It's actually the GPU on the laptop. So you get this by doing so much and having so much momentum, you diminish first of all, you diminish the bad momentum, which is procrastination. Everything else you diminish because you're getting 1 or 2 or 3 repetitions every day of not being productive and being lazy and procrastinating, and you get 20 repetitions of doing things, or 40 if you're doing 2 skills. So it becomes easier and easier. I know this channel is more about feelings. Like, for instance, this channel, I started this one for emotional tracking. How do I feel? I don't know how much of that was picked up. The microphone just stopped because the iPad locked its screen. I need to change the settings. It's the second time it happened in this video. I don't know how much of this footage has been lost. So emotional tracking. I started this channel for emotional tracking. I know I'm repeating myself, but you are here because you're a friend. I was feeling disconnected from my emotions, and I wanted to really feel things a bit more deeply. I was disconnected, but not entirely. My emotions were diminished. And I wanted to actually feel stuff at a greater extent. No matter if it's good or bad, I welcomed all emotions because as opposed to just feeling 20% intensity or 30% intensity of almost all emotions, I would have preferred 70%, 80% of a bad emotion. It would have felt like something more intense, because life is, a lot of times it's about emotions. And I believe that if you're feeling stuff, you should be proud of that, even though it's bad or good, or it doesn't matter. Emotions are really important, and you only realize this once they diminish. At some point I was thinking, oh, I'm such a less emotional person than every other person, so I'm more cognitively capable, and because emotions do not sit in the way of my thinking and my thought process. And then I figured it out that no, it's actually kind of a curse to not feel the emotions at the intensity at which you should have felt them. So it kind of feels like I'm exposing myself, and it's good. It's always good to try to expose myself and my emotions out there. The more difficult it is to do a video, the better it is. And I also figured it out. Whoa. I also realized that I was not less emotional. I was just unaware. of what I was feeling. I was disconnected from the embodiment of my feelings. So that's why I started this channel. And if you're struggling with this as well, I wouldn't recommend posting all the things on the internet, all your emotional tracking on the internet, but you can do it in audio form and just keep it to yourself. Make a date, put the date on and the title, and have them in your phone as a diary, as an audio diary. Because I think audio or video gives so much more clarity to what you are feeling than just writing it down. And bonus points, you are getting another skill, which is talking and filming yourself if you decide to do the filming stuff. And I'm just about to finish the coffee. Oh, one thing that had really helped me is another extreme thing I'm doing is I am doing 2 hours of meditation every day for a month as a challenge to see if it changes my life. Because in the past, meditation has been one of the biggest contributors to my success and well-being. I did 500 days when I was 18. I did 500 days of meditation for 40 minutes every day, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. And it really changed my life. I didn't miss any day in 500 days, and then I stopped because someone asked me, why are you doing so many things to be happy? And I didn't have an answer because I was the kind of person who did stuff if it felt good. But I would have, if that didn't happen, I would have never had the answer I have today. The answers I have today for why do I do so many things to be happy? Why can't I just be happy? And I can be happy. Now I can really be happy without doing anything. But that doesn't mean I am pleased with myself. That doesn't mean I feel accomplished. That doesn't mean I feel this sense of purpose, the mission. And that's my answer. I do so many things because they make me feel good and they make me feel like I'm doing something. I want to do a meditation, a holotropic meditation, but I feel a bit tired and I should sleep because I want to sell my iPad tomorrow morning and I have to wake up early to go get a charger. I ordered a charger because I lost my iPad charger and I ordered another one last night. Well, today. And it arrives tomorrow at 7 and then at 10 I should sell my iPad. I definitely feel amazing since I did 2 hours of meditation with holotropic meditation as well, 25 or 30 breaths, very fast to really get, Sophie was trying to eat a cable, to get more energy and become more comfortable to expand more energy towards the camera. I don't know, this guy seems a bit weird. He asked a lot of questions about the iPad. I'm okay, I guess it's a lot of money, but then again, you can just see it tomorrow. He was kind of obsessing today about the serial number, and I was like, I'm not giving you the serial number because you can do warranty fraud. And he was like, okay. I gave him the other details, no problem, but this one I feel a bit finicky about giving out. So yeah, I did make an amazing video in the second session of meditation, the 1 hour meditation. It was an amazing session and I got out a few interesting points that came across a bit too intense. However, I don't mind. I like the fact that I expanded more energy, and I quite enjoyed the fact that it was more intense. I tried to put in practice that thing where you are acting as if nobody will punish you. And another thing that I've discovered, which is to say the most outlandish thing that you believe. And I truly believe in the things that I said today in the second meditation. I'll be editing some videos, and then probably gonna also clean the iPad so it's ready to sell. I hope I sell it tomorrow because I want to be able to have a little bit of money saved up to feel a bit more free. I'm not going to change my purchasing habits, but I really want to sell everything and start fresh, maybe buy a studio apartment if my plans go according to plan. My plans go according to plan. Such an amazing structure to the sentence. So yeah, it's been a medium day, not a very long day. However, a lot of things have happened. I've filmed quite a bit of videos, quite a bit of things, and I feel happy about it. I feel happy that my output has reached a high amount of threshold. Last night I forgot to mention that I bought another pack of cigarettes. That's bad. Today is 23 of February 2024, and that's just about it. I feel a bit tired and I should go to sleep. But before I do, I need to edit some videos. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.